Calf stretches are for both the muscles at the back of the lower limb, these ones here, and also for your Achilles tendon. Very useful to stretch the Achilles, which then attaches into the heel bone. To do the long calf stretch, this affects the gastrocnemius. We take a step forwards with one foot and have the other foot placed behind us. Now it's very important, the angle of your heel at this point. Don't let it turn inwards, you won't get the stretch. You want to make sure that that heel is straight or even slightly turned out. It will feel most peculiar in this position. You're then going to take the weight through the front knee by bending it, leave the heel down at the back foot, hold that position, and you should be feeling a lovely long stretch through that big chunky calf muscle at the top of the lower leg. Hold that positioning for a count of 10, and at the end, don't just give up, go slightly further into the stretch and then come away. You do not need to put your hands on a wall and press the wall. You can take a chair or some form of stable surface on which you wish to hold for balance purposes, but the vast majority of the work is going through the stretch on the back of the leg. Release. Let's swap legs over. Bring one foot forwards. Place the other one behind and watch that heel posture. Make sure it is not turned in, but turned straight or out. We're then bending the front leg and feeling a stretch down the back of the calf. Hold your positioning for a count of 10. And again, if you need your hands resting on something, you're not pressing on the wall, you're just holding them there for balance. At the end of your stretch, remember to go that little bit more before you then release. That's the big chunky calf muscle, the gastrocnemius. To do the shorter calf muscle, soleus and plantaris, you wish to put your foot forwards, and then the other foot is going to be, the toes will be approximately the distance of the heel at the back. So we're not stepping back, we've got them in a small step. The feet aren't in a pigeon step, one foot in front of the other, they're hip distance apart. It's a similar concept. You're going to bend this time though both knees. So we bend both knees, keeping the heels on the floor. Most of the weight at the moment is on your back leg, and that's where you're stretching. You should feel the Achilles here stretching. Hold that position for your count of 10, and at the end of the count of 10, don't give up. Go slightly deeper into the stretch and then release. Let's try it on the other foot. So it's a very small step forward, so my toes at the back are in alignment with my front heel. You're then going to bend both legs. You're almost sitting your bottom straight down onto your heel. The back heel, most of the weight is on that back leg. So you can really feel the stretch through the Achilles. Again, if you want your arms to rest on something for balance, do so. At the end of your count of 10, go further into that stretch. We're not leaning forwards with our body, we're not taking weight forwards, we're directly lowering the body to the floor. And then release. You can do a stretch for the calf muscle off a small step. With a small step, place both feet on the step so you've got balance. Put the toes, the knuckles of the toes at the edge of the step, allowing the heel to be released. You then allow that heel to drop down. You'll find to drop it down you'll need to bend the opposite knee. So we stretch that heel down to the floor. You can do this on a small block, you can do this on your own stairs. At the moment you can see my heel touches the floor, so this block is not quite big enough for me. But you can feel the stretch through the calf. from this position, to do the short calf, bend the knee. There's no change in your balance, no change in your posture. You're just bending that back knee. Hold it for your count, and at the end of the count, go that little bit deeper before you then swap over to the other foot. I'll show you on a slightly larger step. So on the slightly larger step, I place the knuckles of my toes on the edge of the step, keeping both knees straight initially, and then I bend the front knee, allowing the back heel to lower towards the floor. You can see here I cannot now reach the floor. I'm holding my stretch, I'm feeling it in my calf muscle, the big one, the gastrocnemius. And then if I want to go more into the shorter calf muscles and the Achilles tendon, I don't change anything other than bending the back knee, and I then feel it further down into my Achilles tendon. Again, I hold, and at the end of the hold, go deeper slightly into that stretch, and then release. You can also work for, if you have any plantar fasciitis, you can work with a wall, and you can stretch the toe up the wall to lengthen through the base of the foot. Can you see how I'm stretching the toe up the wall? It's bending backwards, and I'm lengthening the tissue underneath the base of my foot. You can hold in this position. You can even bend the knees to get that further stretch. And then release. And if you want to try it on the other side, place the toes up against the wall and make them bend so they're stretching backwards. And once you've done a straight stretch, you can bend the knees and get even further and deeper into that stretch. And release.